Hello, this is Michael, atheist and alcoholic. I am attempting 90 AA meetings in 90 days. Nothing discussed in these videos will ever undermine the anonymity of AA. Tonight was meeting 30, and I keep learning the wrong lesson every time I try to do everything in a day, and I didn't make that difficult decision of what important thing I'm not going to do, and I managed to get it all in and probably do none of it, at least not half of it well, but I get away with it. So the video will be brief. The topic was on guilt, and in particular to the guilt one accumulates with repeated relapses. So that's something I could share about. I learned that I am very good at staying sober for long stretches of time, and I am equally as good at relapsing. I didn't matter, as I've said many times, how much consistent, uninterrupted sober time I had accumulated. Every relapse was worse than the last. They continued to escalate over the last 13 years until the last one ended me into the hospital with withdrawal for the first time. So this is a game of semantics, but was helpful for me. I decided that shame is very useful short term. When I would relapse and destroy trust that I'd taken, 2 years, 18 months, 3 years, whatever to build, I should be ashamed of that. And for a short period of time, it's an acute response that is appropriate. However, at some point, it's necessary for that shame to turn to regret. There's things I've done that I can regret forever, but it doesn't have that weight, that gravity to it that shame does. Again, semantics, but useful for me. And regarding my relapses, probably also something I've shared on these videos before, but that sober time didn't fucking go anywhere. In the first 2 years, I learned simply how to put the bottle down and keep it down for an extended period of time, which is necessary. It's not sufficient, but necessary for recovery. So I didn't lose that ability. I didn't lose those lessons. And when I relapsed, I was very deliberate about learning lessons from the relapses. Why did I relapse? What could I have done differently? What can I avoid doing or do differently in the future to avoid another relapse? Obviously, I relapsed many times, but every time I took the time to literally sit down and write out what went wrong. Journaling was such a habit over the last, I don't know, at least 10 years, that I could even look back at my journal entries leading up to each relapse and clearly see the red flags that this was going to happen. So I know in AA they count days. That is one thing I do like better about Smart Recovery, is there's no real day counting, because they don't want people to think that they've lost that sober time if they do happen to relapse. You still have it, you still have the lessons learned from it. You just keep going. So there's an analogy I like knowing with that if you're driving from the East Coast to California and you break down, you get a flat, you're stuck, it fucking sucks. But once you get the tire changed, you do what you need to do to get the car back up and running. You don't go clear back to where you started on the East Coast and begin the journey new. You just pick up where you fucking left off and you keep driving west to California, because that's the analogy. That's all I have. I'll see you guys here again tomorrow. Thank you very much. That's it.